fees in your portfolio are the topic of my next 15 or 16 minutes. And for this short talk, it kind of goes along with question and answer, I believe, number 8, which is, do you know exactly how much you're paying inside your portfolio for commissions and costs? And what I wanted to do is start with 2 truths, different sides of the same coin. Here's the first truth with respect to fees, and I'll get to fees, but bear with me, this is important. Efficiency breeds more efficiency. That's truth number 1. Okay, if you're efficient, you make things around you efficient. All right? When you do something well, efficiency springs from it. The attitude of an efficiently run organization, again, is contagious, and everyone around you is focused on creating more efficiencies. Efficiencies breed efficiency. The other side of that same coin is that inefficiency creates more inefficiency around. Now, we might not like these truths, but they're true. You know this is true. One of the best examples that I've seen personally as I've done financial services over the last 18 years is a study, and I didn't read anything about this, but I just saw it enough, and we all know this is true, that in the late 90s and really after we got past 9/11 especially, we saw a number of things happen. We saw incomes rising, wealth was rising in our homes and in the markets during the early 2000s. Our spending was higher as a result. We purchased more of what we wanted. We borrowed more than we thought earlier we would borrow, and we cared less about the long term than the short term. The costs of goods that we purchased rose at an increasing rate. Inflation was there, but we didn't care as much. We were less efficient, and we demanded less efficiency from others, from those we worked with. Everything we did cost more. Investing in active funds even cost more. But again, it didn't matter to us because we were still making some money. Anytime we enter good years like this happens to some extent. It doesn't happen to all of us. It's not a pervasive thing. Some people have a real tight rein on it, but on average, inefficiency breeds inefficiency. Now, fast forward to 2007, 8, 9, 10, when all of this happens, and see if this isn't true. In the second half of the last decade, and until now, we see the exact opposite. Incomes have not risen. In many cases, they've fallen. The spending in most households has come down. But despite it, savings has still increased. We know that for sure. That's documented. Credit card balances have been coming down in this period for the second time only, I think, in 2 or 3 decades, despite the lower income. And these efficiencies in households have caused efficiencies elsewhere as well. We're more focused on what we pay for the services and goods that we use. Providers of services and goods are forced, therefore, to be more efficient as well. Our efficiency in the last half of this past decade is forcing efficiency elsewhere as well. And so the phenomenon is predictable, and it always happens. And we need to fight against inefficiency. And as far as an investment firm, it needs to be a corporate policy and a corporate value. One of our corporate values at Cornerstone Wealth Partners is efficiency, and this is what we mean by it. We have a choice in this reality as we do well. You see 90 people here. I think we have a record number of new people checking this out. That doesn't mean anything to the bottom line until folks say, hey, this is a good product. But at the end of the day, we're a growing company. We have a choice then. We can choose to reluctantly follow in this whole efficiency game, or we can choose to lead in it. And we're going to be a leader. We should note that our fees that we have as a structure right now, and we'll be talking about those in a little while, are very competitive compared to the market. Based on putting a portfolio together, if you go out and put a portfolio together, our fees today compare very, very well. If they're not lower than what you can find, they're among the lowest that you can find. So if we compare, you're doing well. But let's say that I create further efficiency. Okay? I create further efficiency and economies of scale as a result of reaching predetermined goals as an organization, as a firm. Okay, later this year, for example, our firm will reach a $20 million mark, very likely, in money under management. Okay, and we'll reach 200 households and small businesses that we're coaching and working with to plan for retirement. These are successes that we've been planning for. These are successes that we're humbled by and we're thankful for. And they also give us opportunities. We've determined that we're able to do an amount of business in the second 10 million a little less expensively if we work at it than we've taken in the first 10 million. Okay? And we have to work at these inefficiencies and eliminate them to be able to create the ones that can pay us. Now, if we're charging a fair price to you now based on the market, and we as a firm figured out how to deliver our product to you in a less expensive way, then we've earned an increase in profit. That's how it works, right? If you take a product to market and you sell it for a fair market price and you figure out how to do it for less, you can increase your profit. So if we've earned this increase in profit through our efficient activity, then why would we share these savings with you? It's a fair question, right? Everybody's on the edge of your seat. I'm excited. There are a few reasons why we would. The first, and maybe the most important, is that it's a privilege for us to manage your money. And the key in that sentence is the fact that this is your money. It's a privilege for us to manage it. It's not ours. It's more than just a token of our understanding that this is your money, that we reduce our fees when we have the opportunity and when we can afford to do so. I can assure you that as you become wealthier and you do better for your own reasons, we will become less expensive for you. That's built into our model already. And if you want a good example of this in real life, just think of how the government treats your money and then look at the opposite way, and that's how we're going to treat your money. Okay? And I'm not laughing. As you make more and as you do better, you will get a lesser price from us because it breeds efficiency. It breeds good things. We want to reward that. Second reason we do this is because we believe, based on the above truth, that this action will be best for our firm and thus best for you, our client, long term. You see, I'm not just saying I think that efficiency is good. I don't just think it's a good thing. I really believe it's a good thing, and I really believe it's a contagious thing. Okay? So I believe as we create efficiencies in our systems, we prove that to you through a reduction of fees and a better delivery of service, even given that at a lesser cost, that will be rewarded along with you, right? I'm confident we can be rewarded in a couple of ways. First, as you, the investor, wins and puts more money away, you'll keep a higher percentage of those returns. I'm confident that enough of you will be motivated, given that efficiency, and will invest more. Why wouldn't you? Your investments are doing a little bit better. You'll notice and recognize that, and you'll put away a little bit more. Or if you're in retirement, you'll need to take out a little bit less. This will necessarily help the firm. This will necessarily help all of us, right? Let's say we reduced our fees by 5%, for example. Okay? On average, I'm convinced that we would see an additional 5% coming from clients, whether it's you or whether it's an attraction to your increased level of peace of mind and confidence that you've got a fair and a good product. I'm convinced that it will happen. Okay? So I appreciate your business a great deal. We want to honor that trust that you've given by committing to greater levels of efficiency inside of our firm. And when we have the ability, when the market bears it, we're going to pass those along to you. It's something that we owe to you to be market-based and give market prices. But I'm very interested in making sure that our fees are motivating to the right ends. Now, our services to you are not going to change. Okay, we've got the 3 basic services that we provide. You can still call me and set an appointment and get very good, excellent, apt, personal advice. You can meet with me anytime that you are interested in doing that, and that will not change. You can call me on the phone. My team, if they can answer the question, will, and if not, you're going to get the answers to your questions and advice about your investments. Secondly, these events, as I do more of them in some of the same locations, we demand better prices. We bring 100 people to the U Club, and the U Club helps us with that. This is an extremely efficient thing for me to be doing. Think about the average financial planner and how they work. It's a time economy of 1 client, 1 hour, 1 client, 1 hour. I'm giving valuable information to 90 clients. Okay? This is an extremely efficient way for me to use my time and for me to use a small portion of the firm's assets on a quarterly basis. We're going to continue to do this quarterly. Again, we want our clients to take advantage of this. If I've got to find a bigger room, we're going to find a bigger room, but we're going to keep doing these regularly. If I have to do them more often, we'll do that as well. And then my blog, I've made shameless plugs for my blog. I'm not trying to be a blogger. I'm not trying to be the wildestly read blog out there in the financial worlds. But it is what's coming out of my head, and as your advisor, you may be interested in that. Let me give you just a sense for what I'm doing on that. Mondays are a little more serious, a little deeper. They usually deal with money. as and wealth as something other than money. Okay, so I'm talking about Mondays. I'm generally writing what came to me during a sermon at church or in a devotion time that I had, or something that'd be more meaningful. You might want to check out Mondays. Tuesdays is going to be pure investor coaching on the blog, so you'll get information that will help you be a better investor. Wednesday, I generally introduce other coaches, potentially Mark Madsen, who runs Madsen Money, and other coaches that I meet around the country. And really, we've got a coach in Puerto Rico. We've got a coach in 2 other countries that deal with clients. This will introduce you to the world of efficient investing, and you can hear from other coaches as well on Wednesdays. On Thursdays, I'll probably be starting to do some videos, although I'm not doing that right now. And then Friday, we're going to be doing something a little lighter and a little funnier. So you can check out the blog once a week, scroll back, and check out what we've been doing there. And you can keep up with me probably in about 15 minutes a week, just going to evanvanderway.com. So that's going to continue. To wrap up this short section, I want to give you a few quotes about fees from people who know what they're talking about investment firms. Okay? Edward O'Neill from Wake Forest University says that 43% of a fund's expenses are omitted from their expense ratios, and the transaction costs or turnover of some funds exceeds 4% of their expense rate, 400% of their expense ratios. William Yonka says, for many individual investors, cost is the most important determinant of portfolio performance, not market timing, not security selection. Mark Cuthbert from USC says, expense ratios and portfolio turnover and load fees are significantly and negatively related to performance. Expense ratios appear to reduce performance by little more than 1 for 1. Turnover reduces your performance